Three. Okay. Oh. Hey, 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 so people, it's your girl Paisley. I'm the Mindset Makeover Maven and the Dope Life Movement Creator. And I'm your girl Darren, inside over here with the dopest. With the dopest. That's what I said, Darren with the dopest. Yes. 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 Hunty. I like it. Listen. So you guys know what to do. If you're joining us live, go ahead and drop your heart emojis down below. And if you're catching us on the replay, make sure you drop your number twos in the comments down below. And don't forget to tell us what you're sipping on. Because we want to know. We want to know. We want to know. And we have some special guests here on this evening, as you can see. So welcome, Dante from Los Hermanos, Tequila. And we have Jolanda, I'm going to say it with my Spanish accent, Jolanda, my good friend, and she is with Cruise Planners. And so we're going to talk about tequila and travel and all the good stuff. So let's get into it. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us. We definitely appreciate you being here. And Dante, thank you for taking out the time. You guys have been on a roll. Y'all are everywhere, and I am here for that. So I love to see what you guys are doing with your tequila brand, especially in the DMV. And now you guys are local to the DMV, correct?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me here. Definitely appreciate the time. And yeah, we're based right here in Baltimore.
Great, amazing. So, we're in the DMV for those of you who are not here in the DMV, which is the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. And so, you guys are born and bred Baltimore
Yep,
peeps.
that's correct.
Yes. So, and you guys have this lovely tequila that you have shared with us. So we're super excited to get into that. But what made some brothers from Baltimore decide we gonna start a tequila brand?
Yeah, I mean, the short version of the story was that literally during the lockdown of 2020, my brother would bring tequila to the house because he knew that's what my wife liked to drink. And the three of us, we would just sit around trying a bunch of different tequila brands throughout the whole lockdowns. And after a while, my brother decided he wanted to be an unofficial brand ambassador. And he's out here promoting brands that he liked. And I saw he was like really had traction with people. He was turning people on to new tequila. So after a while, I just told him, I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, you're selling a bunch of cases for people. You ain't got a t-shirt or nothing. I was like, listen, we know what good tequila tastes like. We should probably, try to start our own. And so it was just that simple that we had an idea and I said, you know what? Let's see what happens. See what we can do. And it's been fortunate enough that for us, we launched the brand in August of 21, and since then and now we've won 30 awards. We've expanded to over 250 retail locations in 6 states.
Okay, getting out to there and getting after it, because I think a lot of people think that you just jump up and decide, oh, I'm going to start a spirit brand or a wine brand, and like it's just going to take off. And it's a lot of any business, right? Any business is hard work, and you gotta get after it, and you gotta be in it daily. So for you guys to be in 250 retail locations and in, you said, 6 different states.
Yep,
Yeah,
six
I
states.
love that. I love that. So that's amazing. So of course we have some high quality H2O here because we need to stay hydrated, even though we never know what the weather's gonna be like. But so Jolanda,
Yes.
what are you sipping on over there? We're not gonna leave you out, sis. You gotta jump in here like double dutch and tell us what you're sipping on.
So I'm sipping on the very non-alcoholic ginger beer.
Absolutely. And we don't discriminate here. We tell people you can sip whatever you want, anything from sparkling water to sparkling wine, everything in between and beyond. And I love that you put that in your little wine glass and you jazzed it up a little bit, make it fancy and do your thing because on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can.
That's the only reason, because you can.
That
Right.
is the only reason
The only reason.
anything,
I
right?
decided to today.
I
Thank
just
you.
like, thank you, I'm here. So, I don't know why I can't jump in here and see the comments. So, but yeah, so we're gonna get into this tequila. Lord of mercy. Technology is great until it's not. And so we like to try to see the comments so that we can talk to the people out there in Sippin and Soul Speak land. There we are. Hey, I did it. I'm amazing. And so this month is it's unapologetically Paisley. It is my birthday month. I am a tequila girly. So I'm definitely excited to get into this Los Hermanos. So you guys have three different expressions. You have the Blanco, the Reposado, and the Añejo. Now, did you guys start out with all three expressions or did you gradually add the expressions?
No, we started with the Blanco and the Reposado. For us, we really so let me back up. When we started the brand, it was for us because we just wanted a family brand, right? And not necessarily that we was going out here trying to capture some market share or we were going to try to knock somebody off. We just wanted to have our own family brand, but we just sat around and had family time to drink tequila. So for us, it was the Reposado that we wanted because that's what we would drink in my house. But we knew that businesses, restaurants likes Blancos, right? So it was like, okay, we can kill two birds with one stone since we're going. But it was, I believe, like 2 years in, a lot of restaurants owners had kept asking us, like, "Are you guys going to Yale? Are you going to Yale?" We was like, "No, not really." And they was like, "Oh man, if you had it, we could do flights. We could do flights." And it was like after the fourth or fifth time, you hear it, it was just like, okay, we got to get on it because people were asking for it. And so we went back and actually we just launched this in the hill in February of 24.
Yeah, you got to make that phone for people. Give the people what they want. So, um, so look at the bottle.
Nice.
Nice bottle. And so 1978, it says you guys have been, so it's you and your brother, and you've been brothers since 1978. So which one is the 1978 brother? You or the other brother?
That's me.
So,
Yeah,
and I
my
love that
my
because it's like, that's when you became brothers when you were born. So
that's what I tell him. My brother, he was the only child. Shout out to my big brother for 6.5 years. He was the only child, and when I was born, that brotherhood was born. Right, that responsibility of him as a big brother, that whole thing.
absolutely. And that's what Los Hermanos means is brothers. So I love that. So we're gonna get into this tasting here. I have I've already poured, so this is the Blanco. Mm, okay. Okay. Oh, all right. It's smooth. And I can definitely see this in margaritas and things like when you're talking about like how people are asking for the different things like you and I'm a reposado girl, right? I like a reposado, but I like to sip my tequila and things like that. But when you're making different cocktails and things like that, you need a different level of tequila for those different cocktails. And this is actually a good tequila to, I feel like, complement your nice margarita or your nice paloma or whatever it is that you prefer. What do you have over there that you're sipping on, Mr. Dante?
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's just a little Cadillac margarita, something real easy, just 'cause it's Wednesday and we ain't through the week, but it's been a long week already.
Oh yeah. Which expression are you drinking with it tonight?
This is with a Blanco.
A little Blanco?
So I love how he said
Just a little Blanco.
just a little Cadillac
Just a little
margarita.
Cadillac margarita.
Like it's like a Cadillac margarita is just a little something. Like the Cadillac is where you put your stank on it.
I mean, listen, I don't drink a lot, but when I do, I want something good, so I'm gonna make it worth it.
Yeah. That's when you got to drink with your pinky, because when you turn in the Cadillac, it goes. Right, you gotta get your.
You drink your Cadillac margarita.
Drink,
You gotta sit to the side.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now we're gonna get into this repo.
Which is your fave?
I love a repo.
You love a good reposado?
But I also love a good añejo.
That's
right?
my favorite.
I like great tequilas.
Yes.
But I think I tend normally towards the reposados. But I do love a good añejo too. Listen, I like good liquor.
I like them all. Listen, tequila's my favorite. Tequila and champagne. Those are my two go-to drinks. I just can't drink Blanco anymore. I can't.
I understand.
It's not that I don't have a love for it.
Yeah, I understand.
We just don't seem to play well.
My good girlfriend, she's never done me wrong.
And Yeho has never done me wrong.
She's very faithful.
But her sister Blanca.
Not her sister Blanca.
Her sister Blanca. I'm like,
Girl.
Yes, Miss Girl. Now
Mhm.
what are we doing here today?
It smells really good.
Does it smell really good? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you
That's
picking
what
up?
listen,
Yeah, you look complicated and like these are complex. Like,
it is.
yes.
So
She said she see legs on this tequila.
it's very smooth, but it's also complex at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm trying to figure out like what are these notes that I'm getting.
It smells luscious.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm almost getting like it's smooth on the front end and like a little pepper on the back. So like a little bit of spice.
It smells tobacco-ish. Like
Yeah.
a little bit of smoked tobacco.
Yeah. So okay. So talk to us about the reposado.
Gotcha. So the reposado. All right. So our reposado is aged 8 months, and Jack Daniels, ex Jack Daniels, bros. So
Ah,
most people age their reposados, they're doing like 3 to 4 months. And if you look at ours and you set an extra añejo, you can see it's almost similar in color, right? Like that extra aging allows it to pull a lot more of the notes through. And from the process, we use older agave. So, like generally speaking, most people pick theirs anywhere between like 5 and 7 years. We're picking about seven, 7.5. So, and that's how people think about it the same way you think about bananas, right? Like if you're gonna eat it that day, you want the bright yellow. But if you're making banana bread, you want the one that's a little bit older and that's more sweeter.
right,
So
right.
we just sort of older agaves. We're slow roasting at 48 to 52 hours in the traditional hornos. Again, so you took an older agave, you slow roasting it, and it produces a naturally sweeter tequila that you don't have to use any
Yeah.
additives to get those, to get that flavor in those notes. So between
Yeah, and
that and
that's
the
definitely like you get that sweetness on the front and it's smooth, but then on the back you have like a little spice. This is a good tequila. All right. So now we're gonna get into this añejo, and I like that you mentioned that, right? That you put these side by side, like the coloring is similar, and I think a lot of people get confused. They think that the añejo has to be darker than the repo and things like that, and it all depends on the process. It depends on how it's being aged, what it's being aged in, what it's pulling from those casks, and things like that. So don't get into this too.
Smells like hints of caramel. You smell caramel? I smell caramel.
That's nice. That's nice.
How did you all choose the colors? Like, I know this one's silver, probably Blanco, this one here, but how did you choose this turquoise for the
Um,
añejo?
the funniest story actually was my daughter picked that color. So when we literally, my daughter's what? She was 13. No, she was 13 at that time. So we're looking at a few different mock-ups of what this bottle's going to look like. And my daughter walks in the room and she sees the tail, and she was like, "I like that," and walked out. So I stopped. I was like, tell me about, like, what do you like about this? She was like, the color, it pops. She was like, I like it. So I said, okay. And in my house, when me and my brother and my wife were looking at it, everybody had their own different colors that they liked. So what I did was, again, this is a trade secret that I put out to other brand owners and people. I said, okay, I created a Google document where I let the people vote on it. And I sent it out to our email list. And I said, hey, we're coming out with a new expression. We want your input. Let us know what you think. Help us pick a design. And we sent them all out. And I think it was like 78% of people came back, said they liked the tail. That's easy. So it was literally that simple.
Okay.
Well, she did great. It's beautiful.
It is gorgeous. And it definitely sets the bottle apart
From
from
the rest.
the rest of them.
Yeah,
So I
that was the
am
other
going
thing.
to I already put my Repo. Because I think if I had to choose, the Repo is going to be my favorite. And I'm just having that on the rocks with a Blue Henry lime. And that's my sip of the evening. Now I'm super excited because Los Hermanos is participating in our Margarita Wars. So for those of you who've been watching Sippin' and Soul Speak for the last 4 years and been watching us do the Margarita Wars, where me and my guest hosts go head to head against each other in making the margaritas we have a panel to choose which margarita is the best. This year, we have partnered with Urbano Mexican Fair in Annapolis, Maryland, and we are doing an event there. And Los Hermanos is one of the participating tequilas for the Margarita Wars. And so the bartenders at Urbano will actually be going head to head against each other. We'll do the show live there, but if you are in the area, get your ticket, come through and join us. You get a mini margarita, you'll get your swag bag, and they'll have some great food specials there. Their food is good. And it's a very nice restaurant. It just opened earlier this year in Annapolis, Maryland. So make sure you go to delacepaisley.com/events and get your ticket for the Margarita Wars so you can come and judge these margaritas. There will be each bartender will create a specialty margarita, and they will create a classic margarita, and then there will be a signature sip as well. So come on out to that and let's see which one of these margaritas wins the Margarita Wars. And then if you're in the DMV and you're looking to get yourself some Los Hermanos tequila, you can go to the Lax in Beltsville. They do carry this product, so make sure you run over there to Lax in Beltsville, LAX, and they will have this Los Hermanos tequila, and you can get you a bottle and take it home and tag us in your cocktail that you created. So, have your own Margarita Wars at the house. Yep, that's it. This is it. This one right here. This is for me. We have, what are you sipping on this evening? We didn't even talk about that. You have some.
So yes, I'm sipping on a Lenten-friendly beverage tonight. Full sparkling water. I gave up liquor for the Lent season this year, so it's a very Lenten-friendly beverage, but I made sure to put an orange on it. So it's going to be a little sparkling water orange style tonight.
So yes, I'm having my
Very refreshing.
Los Hermanos Tequila Reposado on the rock. It's delightful. So I am really I'm really digging this because you know some things you it's not very tasty without the chaser.
Something in it.
And I can sip this and I love to be able to have a spirit that I can just pour on rocks, or if I wanted to sip it, I could. And so, but this right here also, I feel this is a paloma on the balcony.
Yeah.
This is going to be a spicy paloma on the balcony, I promise.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I can taste it.
Yes,
I'm really having FOMO right now.
Well, Dante, thank you so much for joining us. We definitely appreciate you. I know you've been traveling and all over the place promoting your brand, and you guys have some more travel coming up soon, right?
For this month, we'll be in Timonium Fairground for Taps and Tacos for April 26th. We'll be there, and then after that, yeah, I'll be back on the road for May and June. So I can tell people, look out for us on Facebook and Instagram. You see where we'll be next.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, make sure you check out if you need to figure out where you can get Los Hermanos tequilas, go to delaceypaisley.com, sign up for our updates, and we will definitely share that in our email to you guys. And make sure that you grab it. Are you guys available for purchase online?
Yep. So you can go right to reservebar.com, or you can go through our website and it'll link you there, and you can order right off Reserve Bar.
So we will make sure that you guys have that link as well, so that you can go to their site, you can order the product. For those of my soul sippers who are not in the DMV area, but they have a very robust on their page that part of their website that tells you where you can find their product. And it's a long list. So make sure you go in there and check out where you can purchase the product. And listen, guys, I tell you this every week, but make sure if there's something that you're interested in and you want to try it, go and ask for the product by name. Ask for Los Hermanos Tequila. Go to your favorite liquor store, go to your favorite restaurant and say, do you have Los Hermanos? And if they tell you no, say, you should get it because I would like to try it. Right? Or tell them something, but ask for it by name. That's really important. So we want to make sure that you guys do that, but we will definitely share where you can provide it, but you can also definitely get it at Lax and Beltsville. Thank you so much, Dante. I know you got some things to do, so we're gonna let you jump, and we're gonna jump into the travel. I know you've been on the road. We're gonna talk about traveling like a boss with Yolanda.
Well,
Thank you
good
for
night,
joining
ladies.
us.
Thank you for having me.
Good night.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
See you.
Have a good night.
Have a great evening.
You too.
So now listen. It's time for us to start talking about this. Travel like a boss. So you are my good girlfriend. We went to college together. We've been knowing each other for a long time.
Yes.
I think we almost didn't become friends over the last trip that I was trying to put together. So, and I was like, girl, don't do me like that. She was like, don't you do me. Like, so you've been a travel agent for a while now. And I know like your business is called Cruise Planners, but you guys do all types of travel. And Carolyn here, she stay on the go. she stay going somewhere. Matter of fact, she get ready to go somewhere next week. One of my favorite things so this is my Unapologetically Paisley series, right? For my birthday month, because it's my birthday month. And and I wanted to talk about travel because I haven't been traveling lately. but I love to go different places and have different experiences and try different foods because I love to eat some stuff, you know. I'm definitely, but you know, when I go places, and Yolanda knows, like when I did my 50th, I was like, I want to be hands off. Like and what we did was I went to her and I said, and now y'all know I'm a planner, so I probably went to her like, what was it like 10, 9 or 10 months in advance of my birthday, and said, I want to do a trip. I don't know where. However, I love the beach, so there needs to be some sand involved. And because my birthday is in April, that lends itself well to doing that in a lot of places. And I said, and I'm open. I'm open to, I don't, like, I love Cabo, but I don't need to go to Cabo for my 50th, right? I can go every year. Again and again. Again and again.
It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful place.
I do. I fell in love with Cabo the first time I went. And I would go every year. So, but I was like, that's not what I want to do. I want to go someplace different, and blah, blah, blah. So, I called her up and I was like, hey, what can I do? And she was like, she asked me a lot of questions, which I love, right? She was like, so what are you thinking? And I'm like, so I very rarely do all inclusives. I think I've done all inclusive maybe once. And so I was like, I don't love all inclusive because I feel like I got to stay on the resort because I paid my money and I need to stay here and eat this food and drink these drinks. But I love to explore like the area and eat where the locals eat and stuff like that. So, and I really wanted to go like to Thailand or something like that, but I had people coming with me. And I was like, you know what? And I know you know all about this. This child just got married in Italy.
Oh, wow.
On New Year's Eve.
Oh. I'm sure that was beautiful.
It was gorgeous, but I don't suggest it at all.
Like the planning of things is complicated. And I think people don't, and the reason I asked Yolanda on was because she made it so easy, right? And I think that people don't understand like using a travel agent and the service that they provide and how it works. Because I listen, the last situation, I was just like, listen, I'm breaking up with everybody. I'm breaking up with everybody that's involved in this whole trip situation because, she provides a service. And people think like, oh, well, I can just do this on my own. Or they want to use you like a search engine. Your travel agent is not your search engine.
Or it's pro bono.
Right.
So like,
or they're going to do it on their own, but they want to ask you so many questions about your expertise. It's an issue also if you get paid.
Yes. That
honey,
we can get it for this, then go ahead.
Then do that.
I mean, have at it. But enjoy. And then you can have the experience that you deserve.
Yes. The experience you deserve, baby. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like that too.
But no, like traveling like a boss, and I already know she traveled like a boss. So she traveled like a boss, girl.
I enjoy traveling. It's just a beautiful thing.
It is.
When we first met, you called me and I was like, I'm out the country. And I was like, I just got off a plane out the country.
And that's so used to be me. People used to be like, where are you this week? And I was just like, don't do that.
Don't do me.
Don't do that. So Yolanda, but she made the experience, and I will tell you, one of the things that I really valued by using the travel agent was, so we went to Panama for my 50th, and there were about 8 of us. And and all I said was, I'm going on these days. This is when I'm leaving, and this is when I'm coming back. And this is the approximate price, right? Because it's not confirmed until you lock in, right? And so, and if you would like to join us, please contact my travel agent.
Yes.
And when
Don't
I
call me for anything, I'm not
Don't-
available.
I am unavailable to answer any questions. I don't know the answers.
That's my thing. I don't know.
I don't know the answer.
I don't. Did you ask the lady?
Did you ask the lady?
Did you ask the lady?
Ask the lady.
Because I can't even act like I know you. Did you ask the lady? Because if you show any approximation of knowing each other,
They're
then
gonna
they feel like you can go. No, did you ask the lady?
Did you ask the lady?
You have to ask the lady. Ask the lady with the tech, with the
That's
typewriter
hilarious.
thing.
The lady with the keyboard.
Yeah, that lady.
So, yeah. So what I did was I said, this, when we finally got to Panama, because one of my things, I'm considerate of other people too. And so I was like, hey, if we go to Thailand, one of the things we talked about was like, if we go to like Thailand, or if we go to Dubai or Bali or one of those places, that's 2 days of travel, right? And so from a time zone change and all of this stuff, and she broke it down. She was like, if you do this, you got to change your time zone. You lose a day, you gain a day, blah blah blah, whatever, all of that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to ask people to take all these days, right? And so we came up with something that was going to be, I'd never been to Panama. Okay, let's go to Panama. But I was literally able to put everything together. This is what I want. Y'all call her. Don't call me. But what I will tell you did happen on our trip. And this is the value. There were storms when we were coming back. So flights got canceled. And I had people that came from Texas, Florida, the DMV. And so when people's flights got canceled, they were able to reach out to the travel agent and say, my flight got canceled.
Yeah.
Right? Because we were literally like standing in a line with 1 million people. You've been in it's called irregular operations. So it's for y'all who don't know. We've been in irregular operations when these flights get canceled and things like that. And now, here's the crazy part. Our flight didn't get canceled for weather, even though there was weather. It got canceled for maintenance. So they have to make accommodations.
They have to accommodate you, and they have to take it depending on how long.
Oh yeah, we got to get out the next day.
Oh, so yeah, they have to get your hotel.
And when I promise you, I was not even remotely worried, because my one friend from Texas, she was like, "Oh my God," and I was like, "Girl, They were like, "We can put her on." No, you're not. What you're not gonna do is put her on a flight by herself to Miami, and I don't know if she's gonna be good in Miami overnight. You know what I'm saying? So we all leaving on the same flight tomorrow. So, and that's what happened. But being able to be like, hey, the flight got canceled, and she made things happen and made sure people got their compensation that they needed and all of these things. I was not worried, not one little bit.
And that's worth every penny.
It's worth every penny. It's worth every single penny. Like, if I don't have to do,
I will pay for peace of mind.
pick somebody else to do it.
It comes with peace, sign me
Right.
up. I'll take that package. Thank you.
So Yolanda, what I want you to do is talk to us about when you use a travel agent and when not to use a travel agent. Because I think some of us got the game messed up. we don't necessarily know, like,
When
just
when. When
right.
and when.
When and when, girl. When and when.
Y'all are funny. So first, sis, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Like you said, we've been friends forever, college friends. So I truly appreciate it and proud of you and all that you're doing with your business and your podcast. It's fabulous. Um, so the $1 million question, when to use or not to use a travel agent? Um, it is really just comes down to preference first and foremost. But I'll speak from my experience with my agency. Typically, like you just said, when people are trying to have a celebration and they want people to come, a birthday or anniversary or just family vacation, and they want people to come, they have an ideal of where they want to go, but they're trying to be, like you said, considerate of people who they want to join them on this vacation. But they don't want to deal with it. They want the people to come, but they don't want to try to get everything together to ensure that people get there. So that would be a great time to use a travel agent. So you can, like you just said, give the agent the details and have them work it out, and then have the people that you want to come or that are interested in joining you on the trip or at the location, then they can have conversations directly with the travel agent to, get the package, their flight, the room, the travel insurance, transfers, all that type of thing. So I would say the key
Can we-
thing is, yeah.
Can we talk about the transfer? Tell these people about the transfer, girl. Because I don't think people really understand that. Like, that's a huge piece. So talk about the transfers, because I think that the value of being able to get there and somebody's, they know they're waiting and they know you're here, it versus like, if I'm just,
It's something magical about seeing your name. You're like, oh, there we go, right there.
now let me get a small cocktail and go to my car.
Right, that's us, y'all.
That's
Yes.
us.
Yeah, we good.
Right. So it's exactly that. When you get to the airport, and your transfer is already set up to get you from the airport to your hotel, and your return trip to get you from the hotel to the airport. You're not having to, look for, and nothing is wrong with Uber. I still use Uber and Lyft and rideshare, but it's that again, another piece that you don't have to worry about taking care of, that when you get off the plane and you're trying to find an Uber, and sometimes Ubers in other countries are not, the Uber like
Baby, the
you're
Ubers
used
in
to
Brazil were like,
in the US.
I mean,
The
like
rideshare.
even that's just the towers for your for your services to work and
Yeah,
trying to get
absolutely.
to get connected with a car. Yeah, and especially if you're going to like these smaller places, it's not even any service.
Right. Right. That part. So it's that again, when you go on vacation, you don't want to have to do a lot of work. You don't go on a vacation to do a lot of work. So that's just another component where it's already set up. It's paid for when you paid for your package, and all you have to do is go to the designated area in the transportation part of the airport, and your driver is there waiting to take you to your location.
yes, I love that. But I also love too, like, especially when you have a group of people, the magical part of the transfer piece is like, if you want to book on your own, then you may not be traveling with us on the same flight. You may not be in our same car because you didn't book with everybody else, right?
Exactly.
And when I'm on vacation, if I invited you, I want you to be there. I want you to be like, girl, come on, get in that's our name over there. That's us. We're over there. And I don't want to have to figure, because I'm a worry wart like that, right?
Really?
Oh,
We are so different travelers.
I worry about other people and their safety and so on and so forth. And I'm definitely gonna be like, oh my God, Darylyn didn't
I am one of the most considerate people until it becomes about travel.
Darylyn, are you like, girl, you good? You here?
I mean, I'm like, see y'all at the hotel. Because my car service has my name on it. Like I can't wait the extra 20 minutes that you're flight. And I understand like that's normal, like I'm not sharing a room.
Yes, ma'am.
The best view. If they have club, I need club.
level, yeah.
I'm just, I know that I'm a problem.
Mhm. Got it. At least you honest. You put it out there. It's up front.
I'm not
I
the
can
person
appreciate
who's like, because for me, I think, you know why? Because that's my regular life. That is my life. Like I have to, I take care of other people's business for a living, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when I go on vacation, I'm literally like, I gotta turn this off.
Right.
And I'm like, if I have to worry about you, when am I going to enjoy myself?
Right.
So yeah, I get lost a lot. On vacation? Oh yeah. It's usually at the spa.
Honey, listen.
We were at a girlfriend's wedding and she had all this planned. I had a 5-hour spa day and I felt
right.
nothing about it.
Where is Darren?
And when
I didn't even, I cared this much.
That's hilarious.
Yes, but that's like those like so I think that that's important for a travel agent too to understand if you have those people who are part of like part of because like I'm the girl who's like I know everyone's looking to have the low but yeah I need Delta One. So can you make sure
Got it.
Delta One because I need to be comfortable, but I don't want to push what I need on someone who can't in that moment.
that's not in their space.
That's not what that's not how they travel.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's good to have and like so for me, I'm like, oh well, but I have to work. I'm just gonna jump on as soon as I can get on. Then when I can get them, no, gonna be
Now I will tell you, like with this trip it was so easy. But what I will tell you that I did love is that people coming from different places, right? We all ended up
there at the same time.
We all ended up on the same flight from Miami.
Oh, so y'all all flew into Miami on a connection, and then y'all all were
We
on.
all had a connecting flight. But there wasn't really an option, right? You had to connect in Miami.
Yeah.
We all connected in Miami, but we all ended up on the same flight.
Yeah.
Right. And so we had our layover in Miami. We got to go have our little cocktails at the bar. We went to the duty free.
Yeah.
We got all of our bottles that we wanted.
Yeah.
And then we got on the same flight. And when we got there, we had the same transportation. So everybody was together and we got to the resort. Now there were people who chose to kind of do their own thing. And I was like, if you are not coming with us, I understand that. Just let me know when you get here. That's my thing is I just need to know you good. Okay, let me know you made it.
Oh, I'm staying at the hotel. I'm gonna stay with y'all. Just I'm not sharing.
And listen, when I tell you, so we got, and I said, and this is the other thing that I love that she did for us was I said, this is all I want. I want to have dinner at a restaurant because I didn't do all inclusive. I want to do dinner at this restaurant that one of the girls who works in my chiropractor's office, she's Panamanian. And she was like, oh, go to this restaurant. I told her about the restaurant. She was like, okay, no problem. What day you want to go? The other thing I said, I want to do a catamaran trip. So I'm going to pay for that. And can you just book the catamaran trip for all the people? Right. And so the transportation from the hotel to the pickup point for the catamaran and back, the lunch, everything was all included. We had a funky good time. And I told people, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, I promise you what I'm not going to do on this trip is I'm not going to sightsee, right? I don't want to do that. So what I am going to do is there's going to be a spa day. Y'all welcome to come to the spa on that particular day.
Or not.
Or don't. Go see the canal. Take it another time. It ain't gonna be this time.
But that's also important, understanding what the trip is for.
Right.
Because sometimes, like there are places like when we went to Dubai the first time I went to Dubai, we saw everything. We saw all the things. And then the next time I went to Dubai, I enjoyed all of the treatments, like, you know, like getting bathed in gold. Because we
Right.
could.
Right.
Cheap. I can.
It's affordable. But no, to your point, it's like but you set the tone, and she was your buffer to set that tone for you.
Listen.
And so that's like, just having that is like,
It
It's
honestly,
priceless.
it was priceless.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say that. It was absolutely priceless
Mhm.
to be able to say, hey, all right, we narrowed down the place, we have the dates, and then what we're going to do is I want dinner on this day. I want to go, I'm gonna have a spa day on this day, and I want to do a catamaran trip. Outside of that, y'all can do these things, or well, the catamaran trip kind of wasn't optional,
Yeah.
but
It's just like, that's not an option. That's
That-
my birthday party.
that's my birthday
It's the
party
reason you're
on,
here.
on
Thank
the
you.
boat. Thank you. But everything else is optional. Get in where you fit in,
Yeah.
and it made it so easy, and it made it so for me,
Yeah.
right? I didn't have to worry about the other thing. Is like, if you need a payment plan,
Oh yeah, and yeah.
you can set up a payment plan for them, and I'm considerate in that regard too. Like, what your coins ain't my coins.
Yeah. And I ain't
so,
counting your money.
and I'm not counting anybody's pockets. So what I need you to do is like, hey, talk to the lady.
Talk to the lady.
talk
With
to
the keyboard thing.
talk to the lady over there, and she'll take care of you and get you together. And so,
But you seem more of like a travel concierge than just like a travel agent, because a lot of people they're like, we'll get you there, here's your hotel, and then I'm falling off. Like, you're like, no, I have you getting there. I have your car. I have the rooms. You want to do something while you're there, I have your hotel. Like, I have all these arrangements. So that's just an added value within itself. And
Right.
so, yeah, like, what made you like how did you even like get to, going above and beyond? Because that's like a most people will call it like an add-on service, or will tell you, just once you get there, go and see the hotel concierge to be able to
Right.
do all of those things yourself.
Um,
No, for
I
real.
think, yeah, you're right. And I think, and I own that travel agency with my mother. So we're a mother-daughter partnership in this business.
Aw.
And I believe, mainly just because of the customer service. Like, customer service is so lacking, especially since COVID. Like, customer service is non-existent. So I put myself in the mind frame, if this was me traveling and I've paid for this service, when I get to wherever I'm going, Dubai, Ghana, wherever, do I want to be out there just kind of left out there with I don't know who to call, I don't know what to do. So we we pride ourselves on providing that excellent customer service, and our clients knowing that when you get to your destination, or it doesn't end when we've taken your payment and the trip is paid for. Okay, figure it out. I mean, we're reminding people about passports and vaccinations if necessary, and all kind of things that can put a monkey wrench in your travel if you
listen,
hadn't
it can.
thought about
I'm
these
so
things.
glad you mentioned that, because it definitely can. I think we both recently talked about our experiences right on the Panama trip. It was right like on the tail end of COVID, right? And all the different countries had their different requirements. And she literally was like, hey, they're now required, because the rules were changing daily.
Changing,
And
yes,
she was like, hey, y'all are now required to have to
right.
show proof of your vaccinations, right? So make sure you get your vaccinations. She did that. She then also, and she called me, hey, they changed the rules, because they literally changed the rules as we were planning this. She was like, they changed the rules. Everybody have to have both of their vaccinations, and they have to be able to prove that to go into the country. Okay, cool, cool, cool. She's like, and she told me, like, I talked to all of the people. Okay, you could listen. You did your thing. They're aware. But when I tell you, hunty, I thought I lost my passport. I was having a meltdown. I thought, first of all, I thought I had got COVID. before I was going. And so you also had, like, at the
They
time,
make you take the test to get in.
to get out.
Oh, well,
Mm.
certain places once you had to take a test to get in.
Yeah,
Right. Well, I was traveling when it was straight 2020. I was outside just thugging. Everything was cheap. It was going everywhere. It was going everywhere.
Girl, me and my girlfriend, we were supposed to go to Aruba, right? We went and got our, we were ridiculous.
That was bad, but I was down.
Me and one of my girlfriends, we were supposed to go to Aruba, like, we're going to Aruba, right? They were one of the countries that required that you have your test results showing that you were negative prior to going. Me and her went on the same day. We went to 2 different facilities. She went, but both like patient first, right? Same umbrella, but 2 different locations. We went same day, got our COVID test, whatever, and we were waiting for our results. We literally in the airport, we going to Aruba.
Waiting for that negative.
No
Hers
result.
came back. Mine had not. So I said, we going to the DR.
Look, $20 change.
Girl, we switched our whole flight.
Listen,
We
it
switched
was going down.
We switched our whole flight. We went to the DR, and as we were boarding the flight to the DR, my
Yours
negative
came in.
came in, and I was just like, we in the DR now.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. But I thought I lost my passport. So like, and I'm a planner, so I'm getting my stuff together. Like, this is the week before the trip, and I'm like, where the hell is my passport? And I cannot find my passport. Baby, you had to, back in the day, you used to be able to walk into a local passport bureau and get an emergency passport if you had
proof of travel
within whatever many days or whatever. It wasn't like that anymore because of COVID. They're like, you're not gonna bring your ass in here.
Right.
You're gonna make an appointment.
Right.
Girl, I'm on the phone, I'm online. The closest place that I could go to get an appointment was Puerto Rico. I done made an appointment because I'm like, okay, so now I gotta change my whole, I'm planning my life. Like, okay, I'm gonna pack all my stuff because I gotta go to Puerto Rico on this day, go to the passport place, get a replacement passport, and then come back in order to get on my flight to go to Panama. And then I realized my passport was in my other bag. The last time I had traveled.
I've been like,
Lord help.
I know you were losing it for just a few.
Honey, I was losing my mind. I thought I had COVID.
Oh, so that's my word.
So my doctor, and I'm reading all the stuff because I'm one of those people. I'm reading all the stuff, right? It's like, you gotta test negative to get out of the country.
Yes.
Right. And so I was like, okay, I got to test negative to get out of the country. But then they were like, well, after you have COVID, you could test positive for X amount of time. And my doctor was like, you don't have COVID. And I was like, but I took the test and it was positive. She was like, I don't think you ever had COVID. You're very healthy. You are very careful. You're very blah, blah, blah. And she was like, because I was like, I need you to write me a letter saying that I had COVID X amount of days ago or whatever.
It's an antibody. That's what it's a false negative. It's a false negative.
It's a false positive.
False positive. False
It's
positive.
really negative. It's a false positive.
Girl, I done stressed myself the good hell on out. You hear me when I tell you I was so stressed out that I needed my Friday.
I went straight to the spine, Noel.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me.
I'm gonna be at the
See y'all when I get back.
And the other thing, I'm a bathtub person. I need a bathtub. And so my travel agent made sure I had a bathtub in my room, had connecting rooms, everybody was close by and all of that stuff. And when we got there and there was a little cheese, charcuterie, blah, 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 it said happy birthday and a bottle of wine. So I was so appreciative to have someone else take care of these things. And I always recommend that. But people want to be, you do what you do. Do what you do. And do what you do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in charge of everybody else's travel. I don't want to know, did you get your flight?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't.
don't care if you got your flight. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm on my flight, and I hope you
Well,
got your.
we care.
It's none of my business.
We care.
What'd you say?
Yeah, we care.
And that's why we bring you all
And that's-
on,
Listen,
because we need to, like, we need you to care, because
Yeah.
we're at the point of, like, I'm going and I can't be stressed, but I have a perfect person here who I am providing to give all of us peace. Thank you. You're the peacemaker.
the damn peacemaker, because what? I don't have
Right.
time to
Get somebody else to do it. I'm not doing
Somebody
it.
else to do it. I think her. Y'all gonna talk afterwards. I think some of the people, because we had people who decided to leave at certain different times or whatever, which was perfectly fine by me. And if they had travel challenges, she made sure,
Mhm.
like, I think when my daughter left, they left, I can't remember the day before, I think. They decided to leave the day before. And something happened with her flight. But her dude was like, absolutely, I bought a ticket. We out of here. Right? He was not waiting to call nobody. We gotta, but she made sure to make them whole
In the end. Yeah.
and so, and again, like, if you're that person, like, you need to make sure things happen and nobody's stressed out, then do your thing. But she made sure they were whole in the end. Like, hey, you got this credit, you got that, blah, 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 blah. They did da, da, da,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. And I think it's really important, like, when you want to travel like a boss, I don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity to be over here trying to figure out, did you get your flight?
Right.
Did you book your hotel? Did you call the people? I don't have the capacity for that anymore, because I am so, and it's because I know who I am. Like, you gotta know who you are too. I know who I am. I know that I am very anal. I know that I like certain stuff. I know that I want to do certain things and so on and so forth. And but I can't be trying to drag you along.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing it.
But I also think, like, Yolanda, one of the things that I know that people feel like they are like, well, that's what I'm paying them for. And hey, slow down.
No, you're not. But
Pump your brakes.
but
Or they want to use you as the like I said, the search engine, right?
Mhm.
Well, how much does this cost? Well, I found it for $2 cheaper. Well, go buy it there. Go buy it over there and get off my phone.
don't do it.
That's another point to when you should not use her. If you've already looked up the entire cost and you're just trying to call a travel agent to say just that, well, how much would this be? Well, I found it for, if you already found it, then you should go with.
Then go with that.
Then
Go
go
with
with
God and be in
Right,
peace.
and be blessed.
And be in peace.
Yeah, be blessed.
So,
But you get what you pay for.
and I don't disagree with that. And I tell you, I worked in the commercial aviation space for a very long time in leadership. And what I can tell you is that people would book these trips, right, with whoever, ABC Vacations, XYZ Travel, or whatever they found, cheap price.com, whatever. And what I will tell you is, when you have a regular operations, that's bullshit. And the reason I'll tell you that is because, having worked in that space and managed that space, what happens is, you book through a third party.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to tell you.
I can't help you.
I cannot help you. I've seen people, I've been in hotels, and I'm a Marriott girl, because that's just how I've been rolling or whatever. But, like, I literally lived in a Marriott for, like, when I was transferring with work and stuff like that.
I lived there. I'm from New Orleans. We lived in hotels.
Oh my God, I forgot. Girl,
I lived in the Marriott for a whole year. It was amazing.
You probably still got points.
I do. It's still platinum, something.
No,
It's
titanium.
like, yeah.
Yeah, so I was titanium elite.
I had old points.
Yeah, I got points for days. And I'm like, so here's my thing was like when you have a regular operations and stuff like that, and you travel, you book through these random ass search engines online. I can tell you, I've been in a hotel checking in, and somebody's like, I made my reservation, and they can't find it, and they're like, no, seriously, like people are distraught because they're like, but no, I booked and I already paid. And the hotel is like, did you book through us? And they're like, absolutely, we're not gonna, we can't call your people. Call your people. Call your people. And they can, and then the people not available, so you can't get help. You talking about not being able to get into your room. And I've seen families, stranded like this because the hotel is overbooked or whatever the case may be. And they can't get in touch with cheap.com, price place, .net. They're not answering. And so being able to have someone that you can say, listen, this is what's going on here, and they can take care of it. But I've seen all kinds of travel travesty.
I mean, like even travel, like especially if you travel anyway on your own, you're going to run into a whole lot of issues anyway. And it's like when you're traveling, and it's like even, and I'm sure you've seen it, amateur travelers who don't travel a lot. And like the one little small thing go wrong, and they're like, well, this is because of X, Y, and Z, but not understanding. But when you travel all the time, I can't even say that I've not had, like I travel, like even like for the wedding, we were stuck. Remember, I was supposed to come and be on the podcast. I was stuck I was stuck in Italy at the Four Seasons.
Oh, that's so horrible. That is so horrible.
It was horrible. It was just not over here having a podcast by myself.
And I had to drink espresso martinis every day.
Lounge.
So horrible. But even with that, we were scheduled to come back, I want to say like January 4th. We didn't get back home till like January 11th. But that was because that's when we were having snowpocalypse up and all over here. So we were like, we got stuck there, which I was fine. I didn't care, but it was more or less like, what if we didn't, like, if we couldn't do these things, we couldn't do those things. And then also people not understanding that when the airline does do those cancellations, they have to put you up. And they can, if you're already somewhere, there's a clause where they have to keep you where you are and they don't have to pull you out of that. I actually learned that from a travel agent before. Like, oh, wait, what? And we were at the Ritz in New Orleans. They was like, no, y'all just stay at the Ritz. I was like, oh, we just stay? I was like, that's perfect. But like, I would not have known that if I didn't have a travel agent who understands all of those things and has those relationships with those people and able to have those conversations, and they're advocating for you on your behalf behind you, because anything can happen. Like, it can, it was an irregular operation. Any irregular operation can occur.
And that's the key.
With the crazy, like, you want to have someone in your team, on your team who can advocate and who understands the language. So
that's the key thing. You have with an agent, let me say a good agent, because not all agents, like people,
are creative.
Not all agents are good agents. Not all people are good people. But when you have a good agent, they are your advocate. That's what, I mean, that's that good customer service that I wouldn't want to be left out there. SOL. So a good agent is going to make sure that you're not, and be there to advocate for you in those unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, it just things happen when you're traveling. And so having someone who can navigate that space for you, help you. I just know for me, it was a whole different experience to be like, call the lady.
Call the lady with the keyboard and the phone. The phone and the keyboard. She's gonna get you together.
Y'all are funny. Call the lady.
If you choose not to call the lady,
Don't call me.
I'm gonna tell you who not to call.
Don't call me. If you don't want to call later, don't call me, because I don't know.
I don't know nothing.
I don't know, but I don't
Right.
know. And I stand firm in, I have no idea.
Right.
Stop trying to find
And the
out.
thing is that I'm not lying, because I put it where it needed it to, like, it needed to go there, and that's no longer my business. And I learned to mind my business. I did, and it's
That's
important.
what my mama said.
Yes, my mama said, mind your business, and you'll listen. Don't worry about your business and my business.
Right.
No, call a lady with the keyboard and the phone.
One other key thing, I have to say this if you let me. One other key thing that people seem to hate, but it is so necessary, is travel insurance. Like people, they do not, I don't know why. People are like, I don't need that. I'm healthy, I'm well. It is not just for you. I've had clients that were scheduled to go to, where did we go? Greece, and a sister died. So she could no longer go because she had to plan funeral services for her sister. But because she had travel insurance, she didn't have to lose out on any money. I mean, she had to pay for travel insurance. So you don't get back the cost of the insurance, but all that other money that she had paid, because the trip was paid in full, we were able to file a claim and get that back. And so many people want to be like, I'm good, I'm healthy. And it's not just about you, it's about immediate family. If you can no longer travel because something has happened in your family. Right.
Is
it
Right.
cash back or is it a credit?
There's options.
Because
So
I'm
there-
not the travel insurance girl. I'm not. And I think because I travel with, like, I stay with Delta. I'm Diamond, so I stay with them. If I need to call them for anything, an hour before, they're like, okay, it's fixed. And you have sometimes I get a full refund, sometimes I get a credit. It doesn't matter. The same thing happens with hotels. So I've just never done it. But like I always see it, I'm like, I don't need that. I'm that person. Why do you get your cash back? Like what?
So it's the same. There are options. When you book a package, you have the option to pay for insurance that will get you a credit, or to pay more for the insurance that will get you your money back. The insurance that gets you your money back in the form of payment that you submitted it in is always going to cost more than the insurance where you just get a credit. So
But
same
the
thing.
difference isn't huge, if I remember. It wasn't like
It's usually like $15. It's not even like this crazy
No,
amount.
it's more than that. But
But
like
it wasn't
for
a huge difference.
Look, because I take a lot of quick flights. Maybe $15. Maybe like, do you want travel insurance for $14.97? Nope.
And sometimes I will say, sometimes if you're just doing a domestic type of thing, maybe you want to hear to New Orleans and back. Maybe not. But when you're going overseas, international,
When you're doing
when you're doing it, just go ahead and get it.
Yes,
It makes the most
right.
sense.
Yes. And again, you have the option. We don't make anybody do anything. I don't make anybody buy travel insurance, but just know if you don't have it and you go somewhere and something happens, I cannot help you. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have insurance. I can't even, there's nothing I can file. You don't have insurance. So
you don't have insurance.
we
So
explain that up front. But yes, you have options. You have the options to not purchase it.
Let me send you your form that you sign saying I decline.
I disclose and
I disclose that.
So that's
Here's your form right here where you said you didn't want it.
Exactly.
Thank you.
This waiver, you are signing a waiver. Yes.
So, and I appreciate that, right? So you said making sure that you consider, and I think when you're doing packages like this, right, when you're paying for a lot of stuff in advance and things like that, travel insurance could be very important, because if you've already paid for everything and then you have an emergency and you can't get any of your coin back, like that's a bad space to be in. And so I feel like for some people who, like, especially if you don't travel often, right? If you travel all the time, you might have your Amex this and you might have your Marriott that. Like, I know that if I cancel with Marriott, they're not going to be
charging.
Yeah, they're not going to charge me, right?
Yeah.
And I know that also, if you have a certain status and things like that, Like
Right.
you have those options, but if you're not a frequent traveler,
Yeah.
right? And when I say a frequent traveler to be able to have diamond status and titanium elite and things like that, then you might need to consider, should I
Travel
get
insurance.
this travel
No,
insurance?
get you some travel insurance. Don't listen to me.
I was gonna say,
Don't do
Daryl,
it. Don't listen to me.
listen
No,
to
you
me.
know, for the wedding. So they actually wanted insurance in case something happened with the wedding. I rewrote their contract and I wrote a whole new clause that said if something happened, either you're giving me my money back or you're going to give me a wedding another day. And I don't care what it is. But I wrote my own little insurance policy in there, but y'all don't listen to me.
Because she's an attorney and we are not.
But no, get travel insurance. No, because that is very true, especially a person, like I said, a person who they're not traveling all the time. And anything honestly can happen at any moment. And having that extra security is
Absolutely.
important. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think twice about it. Like I will book a flight today and it's supposed to be tomorrow, and tomorrow comes and I can't go, and I'm not even worried about it. I'm just like going in the app and canceling it real quick, and I don't even think two times about it. And I also book flights late because I also know that if it's within 24 hours, I can cancel anyway and I can get all my money back. But people don't travel.
And I think
They definitely need that insurance. I think that's important. I never considered it.
it's valid, right? Because I do feel like if you're not well traveled, right? And when we talking about travel like a boss, we're not saying that you have to have this certain status to travel, right? What we're saying is make sure that you have some people who can help you to get what you need for yourself. If you're new to traveling and you're like, hey, I would love to go somewhere, but I'm afraid, I'm scared, da 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 da. Get somebody, because the other thing that I do love, she went on a cruise. So I don't cruise. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't cruise.
I don't
right?
cruise either.
I don't cruise.
I'm not doing it.
I'm like, the day at sea makes me nervous.
Too many people. That's why, I'm an attorney first, so that's why a lot of people become widows or widowers. So many people just like.
So, honey, I don't cruise, and I'm not adverse to cruising. However, one of the things that I've said is that my first cruise needs to be a short cruise, or it needs to be a cruise that goes to a different port every day. That day at sea, seeing it on the paper makes me nervous.
Yeah.
So I was like,
so you look outside and you don't see nothing but water.
Yeah, no.
No.
So and then I was like, so I said, but also I don't want to be stuck on a boat where there's a bunch of children. Like I don't.
No, they have all adult ones, right?
Virgin.
Yeah, they have all the grown people ones.
She went on a Virgin cruise, and so as travel agents, they travel to different places and have these different experiences. So they're not just telling you what they think or what's in their database. They're telling you some experience things that they've had.
You immerse yourself in the culture.
They immerse themselves in the culture. And I literally called her and was like, girl, I saw you was on the Virgin cruise, because they don't allow children on there. So I was like, I saw you were on the Virgin cruise, like tell me how it was. And she was able to tell me like her experience as a travel agent and so on and so forth. Even when I was trying to plan this event for a friend of mine, and I was like, so we talked about like where we wanted to go, and I don't remember which country it was, but they had a new resort, and I was like, ooh, like I'm like, ooh, a new resort. We could be. And she was like,
the first people, yeah.
So she's like, I don't necessarily recommend that, and I'm like, tell me more.
Yes, I know.
So she was saying like sometimes they're working out the kinks.
But they're getting the kinks out.
She was like, you could have a great experience, but you might not have the best experience, and I'm just letting you know that if you choose this, it could go one way or the other, and there's no data to support whether it's good or not. You gonna be the crash test stuff, right?
You're gonna be the guinea pig,
right? Yeah, that's true.
So I was like, oh, yes. So I definitely appreciate having that. So you said get the travel insurance.
Yeah.
let me say this. For those of y'all who are cruisers who want to go on cruises, from having worked in that industry, baby, do not go the day that you're supposed to leave port. Go a day early.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Go a day early, because I can't tell you how many people I've seen crying in the airport because their flight got canceled, they got bumped off their flight, whatever that. I got a cruise to go on. Sorry for your luck.
Yeah.
The next available is going to be
tomorrow.
in 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days.
Yo, people are gonna be back before you get here.
I was with my cousin, we were going to see Othello in New York, but she wasn't going on the cruise, but like she was flying right before the show. But the cockpit caught on fire.
Oh,
Wow.
But she checked the bag, and because she checked the bag, she wasn't going to be able to get. So they had another flight leaving within 20 minutes, but she wasn't going to be able to get off to get it checked back on to do all those things. And so she was just sitting there like, and I was like, you should have left earlier. Like, you should have left early.
Tell you my personal experience with that. I'm gonna tell you my personal experience with that. When I used to travel a lot for work, right? I've spent 20 plus years in corporate leadership. And if we had depending on what time the meeting was, if the meeting was in the morning, I'm going the night before. Please don't talk to me, because this is what I'm doing, right? And I remember going to a meeting. We had to go to Florida, and my team had a meeting in the morning, and I was like, we were supporting the sales team, and I was like, they were like, the meeting is at whatever time in the morning, and I was like, I'm going the night before. I'm gonna have me a good dinner. I'm gonna have me a good night's sleep, and I'm gonna get up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and be at this meeting. Well, somebody else was like, I'm gonna go in the morning because the meeting is at whatever. So the meeting's at 10 o'clock, and it's a flight that's gonna get me there at 8 o'clock. May the force be with you, and may the odds ever be in your favor. And guess what? Their flight ended up being delayed, and you come into the meeting is over.
Wow.
And we're getting ready to go to lunch. Would you like a salad or a sandwich?
And we don't have meeting minutes. We don't have the meeting minutes yet.
We don't have
the meeting minutes.
We're not even talking about the meeting at the lunch. So, but yeah, make sure that you travel. Take into consideration that shit happens, and that you need to be prepared. So if you have a place to be, an appointment, if you have a cruise, for God's sake, please spend the extra $100 and get your a hotel overnight and
day before.
So you can get your stuff. Because that's the other thing. What if your stuff don't come?
Yeah.
Right? You need all these things. So what do you have any parting travel advice for the people?
I'll just have one more. These flights, stop. I wish people would stop with it only costs. I remember when we could fly to Miami for $150, $200. COVID messed all of that.
Today's prices are not yesterday's prices.
It is gone.
Me and you will never pause.
Right. It is gone. So, and even from the major markets, New York, Atlanta to Miami, right now, going on a cruise in September, Atlanta to Miami is floating between $300 and $400 for a round trip.
That is crazy.
From Atlanta to Miami. Back in the day.
118 on Delta.
Long gone. Not to say you won't find it, maybe look up and find it, but as the general, those prices do not exist anymore.
Yeah, they're just gone.
Messed up.
Yeah, they're gone.
A lot of things have messed up a lot of things, and like seriously, it just is what it is. And so we have to, be mindful that we are people, right? And if you choose to use a travel agent, this is a person, this is their business. Right. If there's a fee that they have for you to engage their services, a retainer, if you will, right? If they say, I'm gonna need you to pay $100, then choose whether you want to do that or not, and what the value is. I can tell you my experience was that it was a great value for me because it gave me some peace of mind. I didn't have to worry about anybody doing anything. And that's really, to be honest, I was at a friend's birthday and it was a lot of coordinating, right? They were coordinating. We had stuff doing every day of the week and of the weekend, and people were popping in and out, and there was a lot of coordinating for them. And I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to enjoy my birthday. So this is what I want to do. And it went off without a hitch. And so make sure that that you're mindful of people. These are people's time, and they're not Google, right? Sometimes they got to call places and ask questions and get information because I'm that person. And I know I'm that person, right? I am that person. I'm going to ask all the questions. Hey, so what happens if they do this? And I can't see online like what this room looks like. Right. And I need to understand like how do these rooms connect? Because if we're getting a suite that has multiple levels, how many beds are in this room, and all of these things. Right. And they need to get that information, and that takes time. And so I'm so appreciative that we remain friends. That we remain friends throughout the travel challenges and throughout all of the things. But we talked about this probably a year ago. That I was like, hey, I feel like you need to come on the show and talk about traveling and how to travel and things like that. But and also be mindful, guys. Like there's certain things a travel agent cannot help you with, right? If you're trying to use your points at Marriott, they might not be able to help you with that, and you got to be okay with that. But figure out what works for you, and figure out how to. If you don't travel often, like getting points and stuff like that may not be as important to you. But if you do travel often, and you're like, hey, I want to use my points, or I want to use my status, then maybe the travel agent isn't for you, but they could be for everybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
And I literally did that because I was like, listen, I got a whole situation where I know they're gonna upgrade my room. Yeah. So I need to make sure that I can use my status. So be sure to engage your travel agent. What's your website, Yolanda?
It is Rays, RAYS, like Ray Charles with an S, raystravelcafe.com.
raystravelcafe.com. So go to raystravelcafe.com, sign up for the emails, because honey, she be sending some stuff and I'll be like, this cruise look cute, but I ain't gonna get on it. I look at it.
Oh wait, she said we can go what for how much? Well, let me call her real quick.
Right. And so, they'll have the little specials, those things that you like, oh, I could take me a little trip somewhere.
Take a little quickie.
And do those things. But make sure that you go to the website, raystravelcafe.com, and sign up for the emails, because they do have some, special travel plans and things that happen and that come up, but because they're not just cruises, they have land, and she can create you a package. I'm telling you, she created one for me, and I'm a tough customer.
Yeah, so don't let the name, that's a key thing. The name, we own a franchise. Just like if you own a McDonald's, you can't change the name. So the franchise is called Cruise Planners, but we are a full service travel agency. So we do it all.
Yes. I love that. Thank you so much for still being my friend. Thank you so much for joining us on Sippin and Soul Speak on tonight. We had Los Hermanos Tequila. We had the Blanco, the Reposado, and the Añejo. We have Yolanda. We have Yolanda from Ray's Travel Cafe, Cruise Planners, and all that good stuff. Make sure that you go to thelacypaisley.com to sign up for our newsletter. Make sure that you get all the stuff. And it's Paisley Palooza. I'm unapologetically Paisley this month. Don't play with me. It's my birthday month. It's my birthday month. And next week, I'm so excited about the Bougie Blackout. We are having the Bougie Blackout. It's an all Black brands, all Black attire at a Black-owned venue. So make sure that you go to delacepaisley.com/events. All you need to do is register to come, but you do need to register and don't show up in there with nothing but Black on, because all Black everything, Black cars, all Black. So we are doing all Black everything for the Bougie Blackout, and I'm super excited about that. And then at the end of the month, we have the Margarita Wars, and I'm excited about that. So we have 3 different spirit brands next week. You'll get tasting. So make sure you register and show up. And then at the Margarita Wars, you need a ticket, and you're going to get a tequila tasting. You're also going to get a mini margarita and all of these specials, and you get to be live in person with us doing Sippin and Soul Speak and all that good stuff. So pull up. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good time. I'm unapologetically Paisley this month. Pray with me, don't play with me. So play where it's safe, and my face ain't it.
It's better in the street.
It'll be better in the street. So now over there. So yeah, thank you, Yolanda, for being here.
Thank you.
I'm Paisley, the Mindset Makeover Maven and the Dope Life Movement Creator. If you joined us live, make sure you drop your heart emojis down below. And if you caught us on the replay, make sure you drop your number 2s in the comments down below. We love you. Could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with us, and we love that. So thank you. See you next week. Good night.